Hi everyone, welcome to Alaska Weather, Thursday, December 19th, 2024. Only 2 days to the winter solstice. So let's get started here with a very nice view from Anchorage this morning. Beautiful, beautiful sunrise. And you know, I'm not a real fan of this weather pattern that we're stuck in right now, but I tell you one thing, we sure have had some beautiful sunrises and sunsets with the way these clouds have formed up, and the low sun on the horizon has really given some pretty colors. So at least we got that going. And here's our solstice announcement. On Saturday at 21 minutes past midnight, Alaska Standard Time, we will start to gain daylight again. Good news, folks. Okay. So our weather headlines, we've got a high wind watch Saturday into Monday for St. Lawrence Island, the Bering Strait, and up into the Chukchi Sea coastline, gusts to 60 miles per hour. And one of the things the forecasters are going to be working on is perhaps a little freezing spray hitting Savunga with this particular event. We're still working on that, and it's really uncertain at this point. Yakutat had some freezing rain today, and they had a winter weather advisory out, but it's ended. So there's our hazards map and showing our high wind watch in the Chukchi Sea and Bering Strait and St. Lawrence Island. So here's our satellite loop, and boy, this is a doozy, because I tell you, you can spot the number of lows on this map, and you still might not peg them all. But here's the loop. And you can see that things are moving generally east toward the west, and they originate south of the Gulf of Alaska, and then they move into the Gulf, and then they proceed across the Alaska Peninsula into the Bering Sea. And that we've just had one after another. I'll run the loop again so you can also see that even down off of Vancouver Island, another low forms up. And then at the very bottom of the picture there, you've got the next storm that's coming that's going to move into the Gulf of Alaska. So here's our today's weather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lows moving across and just south of the state, moving into the Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutian Islands. Also, there's a weak low up by the North Slope. That's not very deep. It's not much of a weather maker, and it's really very light winds that are in the middle of it. But the main ones to keep an eye on here are the 971 out in the Bering Sea, and then the other one to be watching is 968. That's going to move across the Alaska Peninsula tonight and weakens to 978 millibars. Big trough, but the real weather, the real precipitation is getting forced against the coast, forced against the coastal mountains, and that's what's causing our precipitation. And one after another front wraps up around these systems. So that you can see that 978 has weakened over in the Bering Sea. And then that continues to move westward. The old low now, 978 millibars, north of Unimak Island and Dutch Harbor. And then there's the other storm down there, 958 millibars, a good storm with a full wrapped occluded front, and then all that precipitation across the Gulf, and then snow for the higher elevations all along the coastline. And then for Saturday, guess what? Some more of that. So we got 965 millibars in the Gulf. The old low is now weakened to 972 over Unimak Island. Full occluded front around it. The troughs that are extending up inland are not as extensive. And then our old low, 983, still puttering around in the western Bering Sea. And just to show you how persistent this pattern is, our colleagues at the Weather Prediction Center do Alaska maps that go out to 8 days, and one after another lows in the Gulf of Alaska, and then they move over into the Bering Strait. So one after another one, all for the next 8 days through Christmas into December 27th. So let's look at some of our temperatures around the state. Negative double digits for the low temperatures tomorrow morning. And also the negative teens into the central interior, so still on the cold side there. If you get out toward the Seward Peninsula and Norton Sound, they start becoming positive single digits and even double digits. St. Lawrence Island, 23. And then get down to southeast, to south central Alaska, and you can see how much warmer those temperatures are. And again, that warmer air is trapped by the mountains, the coastal mountains, and all these systems coming by, and they're generally warm core, so they're keeping the temperature up. Still below freezing for a lot of spots, but a few above freezing readings. And then you look over toward southeast Alaska, and you have temperatures in the 20s and 30s under their clear skies. 35 out for the Pribilofs, and really kind of staying the same. So the high temperatures Friday afternoon, again, you have that dividing line. For the south, it's fairly warm. You might even see 40 there for Homer, 42 for Kodiak. Temperatures in the upper 30s and 40s for much of southeast Alaska, and then all along the Alaska Peninsula. The Pribilofs hanging in at 36 degrees, and then negative single digits as soon as you cross over and get up into the central interior and up along the north slope. Same thing for Saturday morning. So lots of double-digit negative temperatures all across the northern two-thirds of the state, but then as you get down toward south central and southeast Alaska, again, warmer low temperatures, still a number of them below freezing or right at freezing. But look at those 40s still there in southern southeast, and that's because that one weather system carries up some warm air, and it's going to get the southern part of the panhandle. And then temperatures really remaining the same very much for the Alaska Peninsula, southwest Alaska, Kodiak Island, and on out the Aleutians. And then for Saturday afternoon, negative single digits again on the north slope. So pretty steady state stuff. Positive single digits as you get down into the central interior. And then look at the number of readings that start out with 40 there. So 49 for Baranof Island. So it's really warm systems that are coming up, and then they move toward the west. So taking a quick look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, warmer temperatures in the east and the panhandle, and pretty good chance of colder than normal temperatures along the west coast all the way down through the Bering Strait, and then a little band of normal in between. And the thing for our precipitation, again, with southerly flow, we've got a pretty good chance of above normal precipitation, both for the north slope with some polar easterlies, and also for the south central and panhandle, and then even on up to Fairbanks. So that's your general weather for Alaska for the next few days. Thanks for tuning in. Please stay safe out there, and get the latest details at your local National Weather Service websites and phone call. Thank you.